Hello students, I Tara, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Kendra Engineering College, Mangalore. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the Basic Electrical Engineering subject and Introduction to Basic Electrical Engineering subject and Introduction to Module 1 and topic under Module 1. We'll see how many modules we have under Basic Electrical subject. We have 5 modules. Okay, and each module will be having 2 chapters. Okay, each chapter will be having hardly 4 to 5 topics. Okay, the first module it is about DC circuits and AC fundamentals. Already you have gone through the physics, right? So all the topics were there in the physics. Okay, DC circuits we are going to study about Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, etc. And AC fundamental, it is about how to generate the voltage. Okay, and module 2 it covers single phase circuits and 3-phase circuit. Okay, all the fundamental circuits you have studied, but how the fundamental circuit is different from the 3-phase circuits and single phase circuits, we'll see. Okay, and module 3 it covers transformers and domestic wiring. Okay, transformer you know, we'll see what is about the domestic wiring. Okay, and module 4 it covers DC generators and DC motors. Generators you know, okay, and working principle you know, it works with the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, right? And motor which also works with the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. And module 5 it covers 3-phase synchronous generator and 3-phase induction motor. Okay, here it is a AC generator and AC motor. We'll see how module 4 is different from module 5. Okay, we'll study the first module. It covers both chapters, DC circuits as well as AC fundamentals. Okay, we'll come to the DC circuit. DC circuit has these many topics: Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, analysis of series and parallel circuits excited by the independent voltage sources, and power and energy. Before going to the actual topic, we'll go through all the definitions, basic definitions. Current, which is rate of flow of charge, correct? Rate of flow of charge. So 1 divided by T is a rate. Rate of flow of what? Charge. So Q by T is a formula. I is equal to Q by T. The unit is ampere. Okay, the unit is ampere. Next, voltage or EMF, which is also called electromotive force. Generation will be done somewhere else, and that generated electrical energy, it has to come to this particular point where your home is there, or wherever the domestic consumers are there or industrial consumers are there, right? So there should be a work done which has to bring the unit positive charge from that generated point to this particular point, right? So the voltage is defined as it is the work done to bring unit positive charge from infinity to that point. The unit is voltage, volts. Okay, the unit is volts. It is also called electromotive force. The next topic is potential difference, which is also called the voltage difference. If voltage is a work done to bring unit positive charge from infinity to that point, then potential difference, it is a work done to bring unit positive charge from higher potential to lower potential or lower potential to higher potential. Again, the unit is volts. Okay, the unit is volts. Next, resistance. If we consider conductor, when there is a flow of current in the conductor, Okay, when there is a flow of current in the conductor, there will be always opposition offered to the flow of current, correct? This opposition offered to the flow of current is called resistance. So resistance is defined the property by virtue of which it opposes the flow of current in the conductor. The unit is ohm. Okay, the unit is ohm, which is represented by this symbol, ohmic symbol. This is called ohmic symbol. Next, law of resistance. If you consider a conductor of length L, area of A, then resistance offered by the conductor, which is directly proportional to length of the conductor and inversely proportional to area of the conductor. Okay, so it is directly, R is directly proportional to L, length of the conductor, inversely proportional to the area of the conductor. Okay, so when we remove the proportionality, there will be a constant. This constant is represented by rho, and it is called resistivity. So R is equal to rho L by A. Okay, R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is a resistivity. We'll find out what is the unit of resistivity. Okay, the unit of resistance. Okay, we want unit of resistivity, right? Unit of resistance, on rearranging this, R into A divided by L. The unit of resistance ohm, the unit of area meter square, the unit of length, which is meter, meter and meter square get cancels. Okay, it remains with ohm meter. The unit of resistivity, which is ohm meter, right? The unit of resistivity, which is ohm meter. Next topic is Ohm's law. Okay, Ohm's law already you have studied. Let us go through it. Ohm's law states that, okay, when there is a conductor, okay, there is a current flow in the conductor, that current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the voltage across the ends of the conductor when temperature and other physical parameters are kept constant. So according to this definition, I proportional to V, correct? I proportional to V. When we remove the proportionality, the constant would be 1 divided by R. Here R is a resistance. On rearranging, we get V is equal to I into R. Okay, V is equal to I into R. Let us see what are the limitations of Ohm's law. The limitations of Ohm's law are as follows. This Ohm's law cannot be applicable for non-metallic conductors. Example, silicon carbide. Silicon carbide. Okay, and it does not hold good for non-linear devices. Okay, non-linear devices like Zener diode. Okay, Zener diode. Okay, it does not hold good for the devices or apparatus having non-linear characteristic. Okay, the devices or apparatus having non-linear characteristic, that is arc lamp. Okay, example is arc lamp. And also it does not hold good for the devices working at higher temperature. I repeat, the first limitation, which cannot be applicable for non-metallic conductors. Okay, example silicon carbide, and which cannot be applicable for non-linear devices like Zener diodes. Okay, and which cannot be applicable for the devices having non-linear characteristic, example arc lamp, and which cannot be applicable for the devices operating at higher temperature. The next topic is electrical energy. Okay, what you have studied in PU? It is work done by electrical power or capacity to do the work, right? So we'll see what is the new definition available here. Okay, when we consider a conductor, there is a transfer of charge, right? When work done brought unit positive charge from infinity to that particular point, that work done is called voltage, right? Voltage difference or voltage, right? So electrical work is said to be done when there is a transfer of charge through a potential difference in a conductor, right? So electrical work is said to be done when there is a transfer of charge through a unit potential difference, correct? Unit potential difference. Okay, potential difference or voltage difference, which is indicated by V. Okay, so Q into V. Q, we know that I is equal to Q divided by T, correct? Rate of flow of charge, okay, is called current, right? So E is equal to Q into V. When we rearrange this, we get Q is equal to I into T. Okay, so substituting, we get I into T into Q, sorry, I into T into V. Okay, this is energy. What is I into V? Which is power into time. The unit is joules, okay, or watt second or watt hour, okay, or watt hour. The next topic is power. The rate at which electrical work is done is called power. Okay, so electrical work we have indicated here by E, or we can also indicate it by W. Okay, divided by T. Rate means what? 1 divided by T. Okay, rate at which electrical work is said to be done. E is equal to I into T into V, correct? Divided by T. T cancels. It remains with P is equal to V into I. That is what we have substituted here. Okay, P is equal to V into I. Okay, unit is watt or joules per second. Okay, unit is watt or joules per second. Now, we know that resistance R is equal to V divided by I, correct? V divided by I from the Ohm's law. Okay, therefore, P can be written, okay, instead of V, we'll substitute R into I. So P can be written, instead of V, you substitute R into I into I. R square I. This R square I is called power loss. Okay, this is the power loss. Okay, unit is watt. Okay, and also when we rearrange this equation, Ohm's law, we get, okay, we get I is equal to V divided by R. Okay, you just substitute in power equation, we get P is equal to V, okay, wherever I is there, you substitute it by V divided by R. P is equal to V square by R. Okay, this is also power equation. Unit is watt. Thank you.